are now joined by UFC heavyweight Tanner Boser. Our first question goes to Gabriel Gonzalez with Gateside Press.
Hey Tanner, so the last time you talked about losing your shorts, is everything good this time? You got all your clothes, everything's good?
Yeah, everything's fine. I've haven't lost any shorts yet. Nothing's gone missing, so we're in the clear.
Perfect. I think everyone is going to be relieved to hear that. You're fighting former champion, probably one of the most veteran of veterans on the roster. Just what are your thoughts on Andrei Arlovsky as an opponent?
Andrei Arlovsky is like you said, a veteran of veterans. He's a former champion. He's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's a massive fight for me. He's fought all the best guys in the world, everyone from Fedor to Overeem, everybody. He's fought them. It's going to be a tough fight, but it's an exciting opportunity for me.
For a lot of people, 2020 has been a rough one. It's been quite a ride, but professionally, I mean, it's gone about as well as it could go for you. You've had great performances. You've really started to stand out. How would you sum up your year so far?
So far, so good for me. Yeah, I'm on a two-fight winning streak. I had a fight get canceled in March, but I quickly made up for it by having two over the course of the summer. But yeah, this will be my third fight this year, and if I win, well, 2020 will have been a good year for me, and if I lose, then it'll have been an all right year for me, I guess. But a lot of people have it way worse than me. I'm still able to work and still able to earn a living because UFC's been able to, keep the shows going. As a matter of fact, ramp up the quantity of events, which is amazing.
Going back to Andre, after he got sick, so you've had an extra month to prepare. Like you said, just his status in the sport. Can you just talk about what it would mean to you personally to get this one on your resume as a win?
Yeah, what does it have to do with having an extra month? Having an extra month or not doesn't change the importance of getting this win. But Andre would be the biggest win in my career. He's a former champion. It's a huge fight. But I gotta win. It's gonna be not gonna be easy.
Hey, good luck. Thanks, Tanner.
Thanks.
We'll take our next question from Cote Cruz with For the Win podcast.
Hey Tanner, how you doing? Good to talk to you.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You come from two victories by TKO, two straight performances of the night. This is the third fight for you in 2020. How would you describe this year for your career, and what message would you send to the top 15 of the division?
Coming off two knockouts, but one performance of the night. I didn't get performance of the night for knocking out Felipe Lins. I got
I'm
performance.
sorry, I apologize. You're right.
Yeah. Um, and the importance of getting a third good performance. Was that your question?
Yes.
Another win is another win bonus, and another win solidifies me a little bit. Not just maybe as a guy who's in the top 15, but in the UFC's roster. I'm more stable. You win a fight, you got job security. It's kind of what it's about.
You're one of the new hot prospects from Canada at the time. How would you describe representing your country in the division that is the most dangerous in the UFC?
I love representing Canada. I'm happy that I'm able to be that guy right now. For Canada, there's a lot of up and coming Canadians. I think Canada's doing pretty good right now, but I'm always happy to represent Canada.
I would like to know your opinion on this situation in the heavyweight division with Miocic and Ngannou and the eventual arrival of John Jones. How do you see this picture? What's your take on it?
I think Ngannou deserves the next title shot, so it's good that he's getting it. You got to see how that one shakes out. If John Jones comes and he gets an immediate title fight, that's completely deserved. And none of that concerns me because I am at the cusp of top 15. I am nowhere near title contention. So to be honest, I don't give a shit what any of them do.
Fair enough, sir. Final question. Your mullet has taken a lot of looks during your fights, and it's been said that it's your true source of power. Would you define it as your own seal?
As my as my what?
As your own seal, as your own way of presenting yourself?
I've just had a mullet most of my life. I can neither confirm or deny if it's the source of my power. I don't know
Smart
if I'm
move.
the reincarnation of Samson from the Bible or whatever, but yeah, it's just how I look, you know.
It's okay, man. That's awesome. Have a great day and have an awesome performance on Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate your
Appreciate it.
time.
Thanks.
We'll take our next set of questions from Jay Anderson with Kate Side Press.
Hey, Tanner. Welcome back. I know you've been hit with a lot of the Arlovsky as a champion, Arlovsky as a legend questions. First of all, is he a guy that you watched when you were younger? Were you a fan of his?
Uh, Not really. So when I started watching UFC, Arlovsky wasn't in there anymore. It was during the break when he was away fighting in other promotions before he came back to UFC. I knew who he was, of course, and I'd seen some replays on like Spike TV or whatever where I've seen his fights with Tim Sylvia. I was aware of him, and I definitely cheered for him on his win streak when he came back to UFC. I'd say I cheer for Arlovsky more than I don't. Obviously not in this one, but is he a guy that I watched a lot? No, I've definitely seen most of his fights, but he was never a guy I was overly a fanboy of, but I always enjoyed watching him fight, and I have a lot of respect for him.
So the reason I ask is over the weekend we saw Uriah Hall face Anderson Silva, obviously Silva's retirement fight, and ahead of it, Hall almost kind of wanted to avoid that line of talk because he's fighting a guy who he was a fan of. So it's not going to be too hard for you then to kind of put his mystique to the side and just see this as another opponent.
That is not going to be an issue for me at all. I have a job to do. I'm here for work. I go in the cage and I fight who I'm supposed to fight. This happens to be Andrei Arlovsky. Yes, I've seen lots of his fights. Yes, I'm aware that he's a legend of the sport, and I'm aware that he's probably a future Hall of Famer. Uh, I don't have to have something against my opponent or a disdain or a lack of respect or something to go in there and try and kill them. That is my job. So no, it's not going to affect me in the slightest.
Gotcha. And you mentioned being on the cusp of the top 15. Do you expect that a win over Arlovsky, that's going to put you right there?
I don't know. Number 15 kind of flip flops. There's probably 5 or 6 guys that could all be number 15 in the rankings. I was there for a couple weeks till Marcin Tybura beat Big Ben, and then he got put there. It's kind of just a rotating roster. I don't really care about that much. Look, I can't control what other people's perspective is or their interpretation of who the top 15 are. All I can do is try and win this fight. So that's all that matters to me is getting the win. Where people rank me after that, I couldn't care less.
Gotcha. And last one for me. I mean, this will be the third fight of the year. Chances are probably the last one, but if you could sneak one in, would you be looking to do so?
Everything hinges on how this fight goes. If I come out of it, I'm not hurt, an opportunity arises, then I would probably consider it. Yeah, I would likely do it. But other things I have to consider are Canada's 2-week quarantine rule when you go back. So if things don't change and I'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks over Christmas or something like that and not be able to see my family, that's definitely something I would think about. But I would definitely be open to fighting one more time this year if I emerge from this fight without injuries. Not something I'm really thinking about. I think this is going to be a tough 15-minute fight, and I think I'm going to leave that cage hopefully victorious, but definitely banged up. So,
All right. Well, looking forward to it. Best of luck this weekend.
yeah, thanks.
That's all we have for you today, Tanner. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you.